Before we begin, viewer discretion is advised. This is for entertainment purposes only.
You know, I'm not that worried about it because, man, is he boring. Like, it's very hard to, like, actually absorb anything Obama's saying. You're just going, like, come on, dude. You could drive a truck through those spaces between words. It's just like, we get it. You're important, historic, but try to speed it up a bit.
His administration's done. His foreign policy's done. So anything he does right now just doesn't mean anything. And this is almost like trying to get the last word in a conversation you lost. Like, your mama. That's basically what Obama did. We kick out the diplomats, but what doesn't affect anybody.
Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus just smashed open a political piñata, and guess whose name came tumbling out? Obama. Turns out, there's a secret so shocking even the teleprompter blinked. The duo didn't just talk, they dropped something that got half of Washington gripping their coffee like it's classified. So what did Obama do that got Gutfeld smiling like he just won a bar bet with Fox News itself? Stay tuned, this twist might just rewrite the cool president narrative for good.
Really, the most boring person on the planet. And that says something. I have a rule of thumb, though. When they say it's both sides, it's...
The previous segment, we talked about when his publisher told him to speak, and when he got to talk for himself. This is another example of a brother having to talk about something that they told him to say.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. It helps more than you think. Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus have done it again. The unfiltered duo of political mischief just peeled back another layer of Washington onion, and guess whose name drifted out of the haze? Barack Obama. Yep, the man who once turned cool under pressure into a personality trait might be hiding a secret of his own.
He could cut a rug. Look at Syria, Iran, ISIS. I'd say his best move was the chicken dance.
Oh boy.
And Obamacare, a hustle. Don't worry, sad stars. Obama isn't really going away, though. He can always keep playing a president on TV. He'd probably do a great job, or at least do less damage. So, Hollywood will miss Obama. But what will Obama miss? Donald Trump, ISIS, American dissent? It's hard to miss something you didn't see coming or going in the first place. The rise of ISIS, the pernicious spread of Islamism, flourished under the president. These are the things that he overlooked.
And not just any secret, the kind that got Gutfeld grinning like he just found out Area 51 has a loyalty program. When he smiles like that, you know something up. It's that same eerie feeling you get when your cat starts staring at an empty corner, a sure sign that something strange, and probably true, is about to surface.
Well, you also missed the fact that he also unfriended Obama on Facebook. So this is laughable. Unfortunately for, our president, who's done, and they know he's done, and these sanctions mean absolutely nothing. When these sanctions came out, his phone buzzed. He got a DM from probably Donald Trump saying, "Don't trip, I got this. We'll fix it, after the 20th." And he went, "Okay, cool. We're good. Now go ahead. Enjoy your..."
And sure enough, there was Tyrus, Gutfeld's sidekick, human lie detector, and full-time sarcasm dealer standing by with arms crossed, ready to slice through the drama. Because when Gutfeld and Tyrus go in on something, it's never subtle. It's a full-blown roast wrapped in mystery, seasoned with punchlines, and served hot on a Fox News platter.
Obama and Trump say what? Tyrus, Trump, and Obama sat next to each other at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They appear to have buried the hatchet. What do you think they were saying?
Oh, I know what they were saying.
What?
Hey, two-term guy. What's up, two-term guy? How are you doing? I don't know, just doing my two-term thing. And Biden was in the front, and Kamala was in the... And, oh, hey, I'm sorry, no term and one term.
It's so funny. Dana, and meanwhile, you have Hillary, no term, sitting there, and she's just away from her two-term Trump.
Hey, but she got that...
So, what the big Obama secret? Oh, you thought it was something harmless like another Netflix deal, or a new golf swing? Think again. Gutfeld and Tyrus went full deep dive into the mystery no one knew they needed, the real power behind the curtain. The whispers, the quiet moves, the uncanny coincidences that make you stop and go, hold on, why does every storyline somehow lead back to the Obamas? It's almost funny how every political twist has his name hovering in the background like a watermark. Gutfeld joked that Obama could be surfing in Hawaii and still get blamed or credited for whatever happening in D.C. Biden fumbles a line, must be Obama ghost in the teleprompter. Gas prices spike, Obama shadow again. A celebrity gets cancelled probably texted him first for advice. But this time, the story isn't about what he accused of it, about what he might actually be doing. The rumor mill's spinning fast, and Tyrus was first to throw the grenade. Maybe, just maybe, Obama's still calling the shots. Not officially, of course. Officially he painting, producing documentaries, and casually reminding everyone his approval ratings once broke the scale. But unofficially, let's just say some of those perfectly polished decisions in Washington might still have his fingerprints all over them.
President Obama still has Trump on his mind. Tuesday, he spoke to the Economic Club of Chicago, where Crain's columnist Greg Huns noted a startling comparison of Trump to Hitler. Huns paraphrases what he heard President Obama say. We have to tend to this garden of democracy or else things could fall apart quickly. That's what happened in Germany in the 1930s, which despite the democracy of the Weimar Republic and centuries of high-level cultural and scientific achievements, Adolf Hitler rose to dominate. 60 million people died, so you gotta pay attention and vote. So, Nazi Germany, here we go.
You could see Gutfeld loving every second of it. He dubbed it the invisible presidency, that quiet, effortless kind of control that doesn't need motorcades or podiums. Just a few phone calls, a subtle nudge, and suddenly the narrative shifts. It like Obama turned politics into a subscription service. You don't see him, but you still get charged monthly. Meanwhile, Tyrus sat back with that told you so grin, like he just cracked the political Da Vinci Code. To him, it all fits: the timing, the messaging, the perfectly synced talking points. It got Obama fingerprints all over it, like the man left the Oval Office but kept the Wi-Fi password. What wild is how normal the idea sounds now. Obama could stroll into a G7 summit, grab the mic, and half the world would just nod and say, yeah, that tracks. That how deep his brand runs, not just political influence, but cultural permanence. And that exactly what Gutfeld and Tyrus were riffing on, how Obama somehow outlasted the presidency without even trying. They broke it down like detectives at a political crime scene. Every time a speech feels too smooth, a message too refined, a policy too polished, boom. There it is. The Obama signature. The faint, unmistakable trace of eloquence in a political world that's forgotten what that even sounds like.
The website, I think, was $29 a month for the fiddling crew. I don't think the American people are glad to see that one go, but when Kennedy acknowledged earlier that Joe was going to be taking this over. So they put the two most easiest things to cut off that there was no victory, and I think he understood that, because let's remember, when he got out, when his term was up, he did not endorse Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was crooked and was fleecing the country then on his name.
But of course, the duo didn't stop there. Gutfeld comedic radar zeroed in on the biggest irony of all: Obama might be the only man in history to retire from politics and still run the plot. Every other ex-president fades into memoir tours and keynote speeches. Obama, he leaves office and somehow becomes the most active retired guy on earth. He didn't just end his presidency, he franchised it. Obama, the sequel. Obama, the Legacy series. Executive decisions now streaming. And honestly, if he is still pulling strings, who can even be mad? Most politicians can hide their blunders for a week. Obama could hide a whole government operation and still get praised for his Spotify playlist. That the other part that had Gutfeld and Tyrus cracking up: the sheer cultural gravity of it all. No one else blends calm authority with meme energy quite like him. Obama, the only guy who can trend online for literally existing. He could post a photo of a sandwich, and by noon there'd be think pieces debating its symbolism. Gutfeld joked that maybe the real secret isn't political at all, maybe it that Obama turned being mysterious into a full-time career. Meanwhile, the internet eating it up like at the season finale of politics itself.
Energy for the rest of your life. It's like, how could this be bad? And you have cheap natural gas, but he is terrified of, I think, the environmentalist factions in his own party.
Being
he
not
can't
cool.
say, yeah, being not cool. That's what it is.
Thank you.
That was a good heckle.
Heckle.
Yeah, but it's true. No, he's scared. He is scared of that's part of the problem. Is environmentalism is perceived as a cool.
Every time Gutfeld and Tyrus drop a theory, social media lights up like it trying to crack a national mystery. Some people rage, others laugh, and the rest grab popcorn because, let's face it, this is the kind of chaos politics actually needs. Forget the usual scandals, give us plot twists, hidden strings, and a touch of suspense. What makes it even funnier is how predictable it all become. The second anything remotely suspicious happens in DC, Gutfeld's eyebrow starts twitching like it picking up a signal. You can practically hear him thinking, wait, is this another Obama thing? It like he built his own Marvel Cinematic Universe, only this one based in Washington. And every storyline somehow loops back to Obama's shadow network. And Tyrus, he the perfect co-star. He doesn't even need to say much, just that slow, knowing nod that says, yeah, I see it too. Together, they're like a buddy cop duo for the political age, not chasing criminals, but chasing the truth behind déjà vu headlines. And the wild part at working. The more they talk, the more people start connecting dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, but are way too entertaining not to. Still, they're one layer deeper, the unspoken truth Gutfeld hinted at. The reason this story hits so hard isn't just because it's clever or crazy. It's because deep down, people want it to be true.
He was the first black president. You get that, oh, I can't have any problems. And Joe was like, don't worry, I'll get all the problems for you, all the smoke. So when he was doing that, you can tell it's disingenuous because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing instead of saying, look, I'm going to put this moron who's going to steal and make it way worse. And now we've seen from that date, from that time, how big the spending and ridiculousness has gotten with Joe Biden's fingers always being around, with the exception of 4 years. So I think, and if you asked him if the camera turned off, he would have been like, man, I can't believe we're going to let this dumb be in charge of this stuff. You know he's going to screw this up, right? That's exactly what would have happened.
There's something oddly comforting about believing there's still an adult in the room, someone quietly steering the ship, while everyone else argues on deck. Because the alternative, pure chaos. And chaos just doesn't fit Obama brand. He too composed, too precise. If he really is behind the curtain, you can bet he making sure it ironed first. Then came the real bombshell, the idea that Obama's reach might stretch beyond politics and into media itself. That what makes Gutfeld and Tyrus take both hilarious and strangely plausible. The man probably has a make it go viral button hidden somewhere in Martha Vineyard. And honestly, not that far-fetched. Obama's the only ex-president who can outshine the sitting ones without even breaking a sweat. You could have 3 people in the Oval Office arguing policy, and one calm text from him would settle it. That not politics, that Jedi-level influence. And of course, Gutfeld couldn't help but point out the irony. For years, people laughed at the idea of shadow governments and deep states. But now it's starting to sound less like conspiracy and more like middle management.
Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about.
I think Obama appreciates Trump for saying what he wished he could say.
Well, not just that, and they also were both like, hey, we both won twice. So that
Yeah.
The Obama Management Corporation, that's what Gutfeld called it, where every crisis comes with a press-ready statement and a perfectly timed smirk. Tyrus lost it at that one, picturing Obama lounging in a leather chair, surrounded by advisors, calmly watching the world spin while sipping coffee labeled hope and control. Because, really, if anyone could run the show from behind the scenes and make it look effortless, it's the guy who turned campaign speeches into poetry and made politics feel like a TED Talk. But what makes it wild is that even when they're joking, they're that tiny sliver of maybe. Maybe Gutfeld not completely off, because somehow everything still moves to Obama rhythm. Every leader, every controversy, every new message, it all feels like a remix of the same song he started. That what makes the idea both hilarious and a little terrifying. If it true, Obama basically the world's most charming puppet master. If it false, he's still living rent-free in everyone's head. Either way, he wins because even out of office, the man still owns the conversation. You can't buy that kind of influence. It built, refined, and apparently everlasting. Gutfeld and Tyrus wrapped it up the only way they could, laughing at how the Obama effect just won't die. They joke that even in 2080, someone will trip over a political scandal, and a hologram of Greg Gutfeld will appear, smirking, You know who behind this, right? And honestly, people will probably still nod because once you've built that kind of myth, reality doesn't even stand a chance.
Soothed by his NPR voice. I was the most relaxing I've ever heard of him. Look, I think he's sexist. I think he's portraying his candidate as a damsel in distress. That somehow she's the target of all these things, when in fact she's responsible for all these things by having this email, this private server. And there's one thing too that he's ignoring, and a lot of people are ignoring, is that Team Hillary knew about Anthony Weiner before he resigned.
The funniest part, Obama doesn't even have to deny it. He just smiles that perfectly calm, knowing smile that seems to say, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And just like that, the world loses its mind trying to decode it. That the real secret, not power, but mystery.as. Gutfeld and Tyrus sat there grinning over their latest revelation. You could tell they weren't just stirring the pot, they were savoring every spoonful. Because in the grand circus of modern politics, Obama's still the ringmaster who never really left. And Gutfeld and Tyrus, they're the two funniest clowns pointing at the magic trick everyone else pretends not to see. Somewhere out there, you just know Obama smiling again, calm, cool, and quietly entertained. Because when your supposed secret is that you might still be in charge, there's no need to deny it. You just let the guessing game play on. After all, what more powerful than being the mystery no one can stop talking about? And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. The Obama secret went nuclear overnight. The man couldn't even post a family photo without someone insisting it was a coded message to the Pentagon.
Michelle Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it.
Meanwhile, Gutfeld and Tyrus sat back and watched the chaos unfold like proud arsonists admiring their handiwork. Every clip from their segment got remixed, captioned, and overanalyzed by people who completely missed the sarcasm but couldn't resist the scandal. And through it all, Obama stayed silent, which only made it funnier. Nothing fuels a rumor faster than calm, deliberate silence. By the weekend, the internet had split into camps: the believers, the skeptics, and the ones just there for the show. And that when it hit, Gutfeld and Tyrus hadn't just uncovered a secret, they'd uncovered America's favorite addiction, needing Obama to still be the main character. The best part, they didn't even have to add anything new. They lit the match, walked away, and let the world build the bonfire. The Obama secret wasn't just revealed, it was reborn, bigger and louder than ever.